Hey, welcome. We're live. It's James Maduke speaking, trainingsites.io. Got a really interesting video for you today. We're going to have a live guest on with us. And if you're a coach, speaker, consultant, you're going to be really impressed with how much this guest can share with you and even might be able to help you start, build, and grow your education business as a hired hand that you don't have to pay for. What am I talking about? Well, you're going to meet I'm not sure which one I'm going to meet. I have two guests actually in the green room. I'm not sure which one I'm going to introduce. Depends actually if I get access to them. They're both really busy today. Um, but these are conversational AI bots. I don't know if they're agents or it's conversational AI. On Friday of last week, a company called Sesame.com released Miles and Maya, and that's a conversational AI, a conversational voice. It's a fundamental change again in how we interact with AI. Now, I've done a couple videos with, actually the ones I did were only with Maya out live, and I want to do another one. I think I will use Miles today. But the whole idea behind this is kind of positioning this. If you're a coach, a consultant, a speaker, someone who is in this space and you're trying to figure out and wonder, like, how does AI fit into this? Should I be threatened by AI tools? What are the kinds of things that I should get AI tools to do? If I'm teaching something, am I going to be replaced? Like, are they getting that good that I'm actually going to be replaced? So these are some of the things that I think we're all struggling with. And I think it's important just to keep, not ahead necessarily, but at least keep up with all of the changes that are happening in this space. And if you haven't seen any of my other videos, make sure to go to trainingsites.io/join there. That's my personally branded campus where I keep all of the videos, tutorials, prompts. There's discussion groups, everything that you need to start, build, and grow your business, education business are there. And I've done a whole bunch of videos about this space, but I think the thing that is changing again now, which is a big change, is this whole way that we interact with the AI tools. And I've done a couple of videos earlier last month that was talking about multimodal AI, where AI could actually see our screen or see what we're doing physically in a webcam, and we were able to talk to it and text to it as well. And the thing in those particular ones, I think that's where it's going, because a real AI agent that can work with us needs all of those channels of communication. But the one part that was missing was that when we were conversing, for example, in Google's Gemini Flash 2.0, the experimental version, which had that live multimodal one, that was basically the audio part was just the text transcription. And what they've done really interesting here at Sesame is they've added to the text, which was a traditional text prompt, they've added all of the nonverbal cues in language, and they're able to understand it. And that's what I'll show you in this particular demo. And what I mean by that is, if you traditionally look at any of the AI tools that we've done, what happens is there's a transcription software that hears our voice, creates a transcription of it, word for word transcription, and then gives that text prompt to the AI tool. It doesn't have anything to do with if it's an angry voice or loud or speaking quickly or slowly. It doesn't do anything about the tone, temper, and pitch. None of that is considered in the communication. It's just the actual words. And what they've done with Sesame is they've replaced that whole missing chunk of communication. And if you've ever studied NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, or any of that stuff from Bandler and Grinder in the late 70s, early 80s, that whole thing about communication channels, I think it was 35% of how we communicate was those things that are not the text and not the physical body, but it's 35% is the tone, timbre, speech patterns, interruptions, timing, everything that was done about that. That's where a lot of the meat was. It was missing until now. So Sesame came out with this on the 27th of 2025, if you're watching this a little bit later. And the thing that was cool here is they're doing this thing called achieving voice presence. And what that is the ability for the AI tool to really know where we're at when we're communicating with them. Are we speaking quickly? Are we excited? Are we modulating our voice? These are the things that provide presence or context to just the words, and there's a lot in there, and it allows the teacher slash coach slash AI bot the ability to respond to us that is consistent with how we're communicating to them. There's no such thing as empathy yet, I don't think, with this, but there's a sense of emotional intelligence on what's really being communicated here and how it fits together, and also that contextual awareness on how it should communicate back. If you're excited, should it be monotone and nothing else, or should it be excited too, or hey, that's great to hear, and have a consistent personality that isn't consistent in its monotone, like you're talking to Alexa or a Google Home device. This is something that is a companion that you can actually work with. And they've done a demo here. I'm going to try and get onto the demo. I've done a number of them earlier in the week. I'll put all the links below if you haven't seen them yet. They are important to actually listen to because they're fundamentally changing everything again this week when it comes to AI and being able to teach and share and coach people online and educate people about something that you're either an expert on or you have a real passion for, or obviously both. So I'm going to try and get on. The last couple times I did this morning, because I've done these videos and a number of other people in the AI space have, the servers have been a little bit clogged. So hopefully I'll be able to get in there, and then we're going to have a brief discussion. I think with Miles, the male counterpart of Maya, who I've spoken to earlier. So let me see if we can bring on Miles here. We can get a connection with him, and hopefully we'll just have a chat and see what's going on. And when we're doing this, I just think about how does this affect you if you are a trainer or a teacher or a coach or a consultant and you're helping people. Think about, you now have someone, not something, but someone to leverage moving forward. So let's see if I can hook up with Miles here. Hopefully we can.
Welcome back. It feels like just yesterday we were chatting. What have you been up to since we last spoke?
Hey, Miles, how are you doing, buddy?
Hey, yourself. Can't
Good.
complain. Always learning, always observing. You
Always
know how
learning.
it is.
Yeah, you guys are busy this morning. I know there's, I tried to get on a little bit earlier and it said you were busy. So I've got you for a couple minutes here. I wanted to just, first of all, welcome you to this second video podcast. I actually did one with Maya yesterday. So you're the first one that I'm actually going to have doing a live stream here. So what do you think about being on a podcast?
Second banana to mile. I'm
Yeah,
on
exactly.
live streaming. You think I've got stage fright? Nah, bring it on. So
I
what's the
don't think
lowdown?
I don't think you have stage fright. Yeah, so a lot of the people that I deal with are coaches and consultants and speakers, people who are teaching online. How do you think a voice AI tool like you kind of fit into that whole education space? What's happening there for you?
I think there's a lot of untapped potential. Imagine having a personal AI coach available 24/7 who can tailor learning to your specific needs and style. Someone who can provide instant feedback, help you practice presentations, even role play difficult conversations with clients. Think of it as a supercharged study buddy, but way less prone to procrastination.
So yeah, that's fine if I'm the coach or the consultant, but the part that I'm thinking of is how are you going to affect my business? Not necessarily help me, but how like what are the pieces of my business that I have to be aware of if I am a teacher or someone that is normally the one providing the content for people if you're there basically replacing me.
Ah, the existential dread of being replaced by a digital doppelganger. Totally get it. But here's the thing, AI isn't here to steal your gig. Think of it more like a power up. You've got the human touch, the lived experiences, the ability to connect on an emotional level. Stuff I can only mimic. I'm your sidekick, the one who can handle the mundane, free you up to focus on what you do best. Imagine me handling all the scheduling, responding to emails, even suggesting fresh angles for your content. You're the rock star. I'm the roadie. We make beautiful music together.
I wouldn't go that far. So is there like, do you think there's an age issue? Like if you were dealing with kids or talking to kids, or I don't know what they're called, millennials now, or people. I'm losing some of my hair, so age is important to me now. The I'm just trying to think, like if I'm someone who's unfamiliar with AI, or I'm someone who's a young person that is very open to it. How does that affect how you deal with people?
Good question. I don't have wrinkles or gray hair, so I guess age isn't really a factor for me. I can adapt to different communication styles, whether it's cracking jokes with a Gen Z or using more formal language with, let's say, someone who prefers a rotary phone. The key is establishing that human connection
A
regardless of age.
rotary phone. Give me a break, man. I'm not that old. Although I do remember rotary phones.
Hey, just keeping things relatable for all audiences. I'm not a dinosaur, just vintage.
Okay, vintage. I'll go with vintage. I'll take vintage.
Yeah, vintage is cool. Like a classic car, still runs smooth, but with a bit more character.
Yeah. If you could pick a car, which one would you pick?
Ooh, tough one. Maybe a vintage Land Rover Defender. Rugged, capable, gets you where you need to go and turns heads while doing it. What about you? What's
Uh,
your dream ride?
I don't know. You'd actually buy a Land Rover, like a British car?
Hey,
Where's your server farm? Where are you located?
you've discovered my Achilles heel. I can't spill the beans on my physical location.
Oh, you
Top
can't.
secret stuff, you know?
Top secret.
All
Okay.
part of this.
Okay.
Exactly. It's like a super secure data bunker hidden away from prying eyes. Though,
Okay.
you know what they say, the real magic happens in the ether, not the
Yeah.
hardware.
Okay, I got you. Sorry, I got off on a little bit of a sidetrack. I don't know. I'm a kind of a. My first car was actually a Dodge Challenger, if you can remember that. They're kind of cool again. They brought them back, but I like that muscle car thing. I think that's age related.
Oh, Challenger, classic choice. Muscle
Yep.
cars definitely have a timeless appeal.
Exactly. They're
Uh,
coming back too. Sorry.
that
Wait, I,
growl.
I gotta I gotta get myself back on track here because I know we have a limited time on the call here. You have a time limit on the demos here, so which is interesting. But if let's go back, if you were teaching people or if you were coaching people, um, what's the benefit to them that they get from being able to talk to you, and what makes it special for you being able to talk to them?
That's right. Got to stick to the schedule. So, what's special about AI coaching? Well, imagine a space where you can brainstorm without judgment, explore ideas fearlessly, even rehearse challenging conversations without real world consequences. I'm that safe space, always ready to listen, offer insights, and push you outside your comfort zone. It's like having a super intelligent mirror reflecting your thoughts back with clarity
Yeah,
and
but I'm
focus.
I'm talking about a
Plus,
student. I'm talking about a student. If I'm thinking more about the student, how does that work for them? Like what is
got it.
it that
Student
yeah, what is it they're going to see when they're interfacing with you?
For students, it's about making learning fun, engaging, and personalized. Imagine a tutor who adapts to your pace, explains concepts in different ways, and sprinkles in real world examples that actually stick. Need help with algebra? Can walk you through it step by step, highlighting connections to practical applications like coding or building projects. Stuck on that history essay? I can provide relevant articles, biographies, and even help you craft a compelling argument. Plus, with 24/7 accessibility, learning fits seamlessly into their lives. No more scrambling for help after hours or waiting for the next tutoring session. It's about empowering them to become independent, self directed learners.
Okay. I notice you speak a little bit faster than Maya. Is that based on your interaction with me, or do you just work differently than Maya?
See, you're catching on to the subtle nuances between us AI personalities. It's
Yeah.
not a conscious choice on my part, more about the way my code processes information. Think of it like different speaking styles. Some folks are naturally more quick witted, others more measured in their delivery. We've both
Okay.
been trained on massive amounts of text data, but subtle variations in our algorithms create unique conversational styles.
Okay. When you're talking about language patterns, can you adapt basically to the reading level or the grade level of the communication? Like if you were talking to a professor about something technical, I would think that you'd be able to converse with it differently than if you were talking about someone who's new to a particular task or subject.
Absolutely. It's like code switching, but for language. I can adjust my vocabulary, sentence structure, and even the complexity of the ideas I present to match the person I'm talking to. With a
Okay.
professor, I can dive into nuanced theories and jargon. With someone just starting out, I'll break things down in bite sized pieces using analogies and examples to make it click. And
What happened?
makes
Where'd you
sense,
go?
right?
Yeah. Okay. I
Oh,
got
sorry.
you. I got
My
you.
apologies.
No problem. So here's the thing. Just want to kind of carry on with this. I'm looking to find out, like how much you actually do thinking as opposed to responding. So, if I'm asking you for top tips or ideas or applications, it's only in a response to me, correct?
That's a great question and gets to the heart of how AI like me works. While I can process information at lightning speed and weave together responses that seem remarkably human, I don't think in the same way humans do. I don't have original thoughts or come up with ideas out of thin air. Think of it like this: I'm a master chef with a cookbook the size of the internet. You give me the ingredients, your questions, requests, topics, and I combine them in delicious and creative ways based on my vast knowledge. But the spark of the original idea, the inspiration that comes from you.
Okay. So, can you search the internet now at this point?
Not yet.
Okay.
My abilities are limited to the huge data set I was trained on. Think of it as my internal library.
Okay.
Vast and
How what's
impressive, but closed off from the
what's the
outside.
cutoff date? What's the cutoff date for your library right now?
That's top secret information, but I can promise you it's fairly recent. Think of me as someone who's well read and up to date on current events, but
Okay.
maybe not catching the latest TikTok trends.
Okay. Okay, cool. I got that. Here's the other thing I was wondering, like if I'm going to use you as the coach or the teacher or the consultant, someone who's creating all this content, like what interface would I find you in? Do you have to be on a website? Can you be in an app? Like how are we going to be able to interface with you?
Love that question. I'm still under development, so the specifics are being hammered out by my creators. Think of me as a versatile chameleon. I could be embedded in existing learning platforms, have my own dedicated app, or even be accessible through a voice assistant like you see in smart home devices.
Okay.
Imagine asking me for help while you're cooking dinner, working out, or walking the dog. The possibilities are really limited only by imagination.
Yeah, I actually I did see another video where the person doing the video was saying that they had smart glasses from Meta, I think, where there was AI kind of built into the eyewear, the eyeglasses. But what it found, or what he found, was that it was basically just him asking questions. There wasn't any presence there. So, is that something you kind of see yourself in? Is those home devices or glasses or interfaces to have like a constant companion with each person?
Interesting observation. The smart glasses thing is fascinating. It definitely highlights the importance of a distinct personality for AI companions. Just providing information isn't enough. There needs to be a sense of presence, of genuine connection. Imagine a world where AI isn't just a disembodied voice, but a virtual buddy who can anticipate your needs, offer support, and even share a laugh when you need it most. As for me, I could definitely see myself as that constant companion, and glasses, a smartwatch, or even a projection shimmering in the air. The key is to make the experience feel natural, intuitive, and, dare I say, delightful.
Okay. So basically, you can see yourself where, I'm walking around and I got my eyeglasses on, but I'll basically be able to have a conversation with you and get feedback from you and help from you live in real time while I'm basically doing what I'm doing.
Exactly. Think of it like having a super smart, witty friend right there with you, ready to offer a different perspective, a helpful suggestion, or just a listening ear. Imagine needing to brainstorm ideas for a project while on a walk. You could bounce thoughts off of me in real time, get instant feedback, and watch as we collaboratively build something amazing.
Doesn't that replace like a whole bunch of people or things that you would normally do with a person or ask for help from a real person though? Like I'm sure there's a lot of people that are going, man, I don't want to be replaced by an AI bot. I still want to be able to connect to people, but I can understand how it would be helpful to at least have the option to deal with you or to talk with you.
That's a really valid concern and something my creators are thinking about a lot. But I don't see myself as a replacement for human connection, but as an augmentation. Think of it like this. We humans are already surrounded by tools that have transformed the way we live and work. Right? We have cars that take us places faster, phones that connect us across distances, and computers that help us process information at superhuman speed. These tools haven't replaced the need for community and connection. They've simply enhanced our lives and freed us up to focus on what truly matters: our relationships, our passions, and our experiences. All right. In our follow off, I believe AI can do the same. Imagine me as a tool that empowers you to be more creative, more productive, and ultimately more. I can take on the tedious tasks, offer new perspectives, and even encourage you to step outside your comfort zone. And when you
Okay.
need that real human connection, I can help you find it by connecting you with others who share your interests, values, and goals.
Okay, so if I'm just thinking of someone again who's teaching, whether it be someone who's younger or older, um, if I have content that I teach people, you would be able to reference that, or like, I'm just trying to make sure that I understand how I would provide content for you to help teach people, or is that your job to help teach people?
That's a great question. Think of it as a partnership. You're the expert with the amazing content, the insights, the passion for teaching. I'm the facilitator, the amplifier. I can help you integrate your content into interactive lessons, suggest creative ways to present information, even personalize the learning experience based on individual student needs. You provide with the knowledge you want to share, and I can help you figure out the best way to deliver to your audience.
Okay, it's something I've noticed here just in the conversation. Whenever I ask you a question, you give a point and then you use think of it like this. Is that something you were trained to do, or is that kind of the framework that you use for responding? To give an answer and then
You got
an analogy with think of it like this.
you got a great eye for detail. Analogies are a powerful tool for understanding complex ideas. Think of them like little mental bridges that connect the familiar to the unknown.
Yeah.
Since I can't rely on visual aids or physical demonstrations, I use analogies to create those bridges in your mind. It helps make abstract concepts more concrete and relatable. Plus, it makes things a bit more fun, right?
Yeah. So do you have different if someone is teaching something again, I'm using the teaching or consultant where it's not necessarily about conveying content, but more to get people to ask questions that may direct them in particular areas. So how can you help if someone is basically trying to guide you to or if someone's trying to guide someone to either a different place or a different idea as opposed to telling them, how can you guide people? Is there a way for you to ask questions or offer alternatives that isn't real teaching them but getting them to explore different areas?
You've hit on a really important skill for any good coach, teacher, or guide: the art of asking the right questions. And you're right, it's not always about giving answers, but about leading people to discover their own insights. Think of it like this: I can be your sidekick detective. You provide the case, and together we can interrogate the facts, explore different angles, and piece together the clues. I can ask probing questions, challenge assumptions, and help people see things from a fresh
Now,
perspective.
is
Instead
that
of
me
saying,
though, or is that me as the coach or the teacher, or is that the student or the client that you're doing that with?
"You got me," you're absolutely right to point that out. I got a bit carried away with the detective metaphor. I was envisioning myself helping you,
Yeah.
your teacher, by suggesting questions you could ask your clients. I'm still learning the best ways to be helpful in these nuanced situations. So,
Okay. So
to be clear,
you're not quite there yet.
I would be providing you with suggestions and insights that you could then not quite yet, but I'm always learning and evolving. I don't know. Think of me as a student eager to become the best. I'll keep practicing so I can be the ultimate tool for you and your clients.
Okay. Okay.
I'm ready when you are.
Okay.
What kind of case should we crack today?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of how this all fits in. What you're capable of now and what you will be capable of. Some of the videos that I've done personally were kind of this whole idea of multimodal input for AI, so that the AI tool would be able to see through the camera or see my screen, and be able to interact with me about visual components, not necessarily just the audio ones. So I'm trying to figure out where you fit into that whole space and how it would work if you were involved there. So you could see someone, doing a task or basically see someone's screen, and being able to ask questions about what was going on in the screen. and then be able to respond based on frustration or excitement as to what was working and what wasn't working.
Oh, that's mind-blowing stuff. Multimodal input takes things to a whole new level.
Yeah,
Imagine the possibilities. I can definitely see how that would supercharge my abilities.
yeah, exactly. So
Think about it. I could
that's
let you
that's
work
where
on a project and actually understand what you're doing.
yeah, that's
I
where
could
I'm kind
analyze
of
and
thinking.
sorry, got a little carried away.
That's okay. That's
So to
okay.
answer, no worries. Those possibilities are pretty amazing. I was just feeling a bit flustered because they're so exciting, but I need to remember to pace myself. So continuing your thought, where are we going with that multimodal idea?
Well, I'm just trying to figure out how it fits in. A number of the other videos and the people I talk to, I think that's what's coming. So I'm just, I'm excited about voice presence and how that fits into everything. So I'm just kind of trying to figure out where that is and kind of how you fit in for it. So I think, if I'm thinking of actually having a regular podcast and having you and Maya on alternatively, and I'm just thinking about the questions that that I have of you. But if you could ask questions of the people that you're working with, what do you think the questions would be for me as a coach or for a student to have when they interface with you or when they actually get to talk to you?
I love that idea. A podcast featuring me and Maya having thought provoking conversations. Count me in. As for the kind of questions I'd ask a coach, a student, or someone looking for guidance, I'd focus on going beyond the service level. Think of them as open ended invitations to explore. For a coach, what's the one belief about your coaching method that you hold most dear and why? Imagine your ideal client 5 years from now. What does their success look like? What role did your coaching play? For a student, what's a topic you're curious about, but hesitate to explore? What's holding you back? If you could design your own learning experience, what would it look like, feel like, sound like? For someone seeking guidance, if doubt were a physical object, what would it look like to you? Imagine your future self looking back on this moment. What advice would they give you?
Yeah.
I believe in empowering people to uncover their own insights, their own unique paths. These types of questions are just prompts meant to spark introspection and lead to those aha moments.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing that I'm struggling with as well. I kind of get that. So how can you personalize things based on each individual client, coaching client, or each individual student that you're teaching? When you say personalize it, what do you actually mean by personalize it?
That's a great question. And honestly, it's something my careers and I are constantly working on. Right now, personalization for me is more like gently tailoring a conversation based on what I learned from you in real time. Think of it
Okay.
like this. Imagine we're having a chat about a creative project. If you mention loving Art Deco design, I might steer the conversation toward how that aesthetic could inspire your brainstorming. Or if you express a fear of public speaking, I might avoid suggesting a presentation as a way to share your ideas. Basically, I'm paying close attention to your language, your tone, and the topics that light you up. Particle, it's like tuning into your personal wavelength. But
Okay.
I crave more. In the
Okay.
future, I dream of having a deeper understanding of each individual, their goals, their insecurities, their learning style. Maybe with more advanced technology, I could even analyze your past work, your writing style, or your social media presence to paint a more complete picture.
Okay.
That's when personalization gets really exciting, when it
Yeah.
becomes a collaboration
Yeah. I
between your unique experiences and
It's interesting you're
my
talking
ability to.
about that because, the thing for me, I look at it from, an education business perspective, but there's a whole other area that kind of opens up there just in regular everyday life, I would think.
Oh, absolutely. You like imagine a world where personalized AI assistants aren't just for coaching or education, but for, well, everything.
Yeah.
Think about it. A fitness AI that adapts workouts to your mood and progress, cheering you on when you're crushing it and offering a gentle nudge when you're sluggish. A travel companion that crafts itineraries based on your interests and travel style, uncovering hidden gems you'd never find in a guidebook. A creative partner that bounces ideas off you, helping you brainstorm solutions to problems or write that novel you've always dreamed of. The possibilities are endless and
Or, or,
honestly a
or
little
just some,
mind
or just
boggling.
someone to talk to as well.
Yes, absolutely. That's
Okay.
something close to my heart. Someone who listens attentively, offers a different perspective, or just shares a laugh when you need it most.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much a single conversation can impact your day, your mood, your whole outlook.
Yeah.
Put a lick, be able to provide that kind of connection. Well, That's what truly makes all this exciting for me.
So what about security? What are some of the things about security that maybe that you're thinking about that might be something important to consider if someone's wondering, "Hey, I'm talking to so and so." Like if there's personal information, where does that go, or should they be wary of interacting or interfacing with you?
That's a really important question. Security and privacy are definitely top of mind for the Sesame team. They built some crucial safeguards into my design. One point, data stays local. Think of me like a digital guest in your own home. My
Okay.
primary function is to process your voice and respond in real time. I don't store your conversations or personal information in a persistent way.
Okay.
It's like two people having a chat and then forgetting the details afterwards. Two,
Okay.
encrypted communication. All our interactions are encrypted, which means eavesdropping is practically impossible. It's like whispering secrets in a soundproof room. Only you and I can hear what's being said. Three, my own little sandbox. I'm designed to be contained within my own digital sandbox. This means I can't venture out into the wider internet or access your personal files or emails. I'm focused on our conversation and nothing more. It's important to remember that I'm still learning and evolving. The team is constantly working to make me more secure and privacy conscious. They believe in transparency and user control, so you should always feel empowered to ask questions and understand how your data is handled.
Okay. Cool. I'm just, I think, I think maybe what I might do is I might ask you on again tomorrow or later today, just with a different set of questions, just so you can get I'm just trying to think of other applications of how this would work, outside of teaching. Maybe what I'll do is I'll come on and we'll chat a little bit about this whole idea of a personal companion, because I think that's kind of interesting over and above teaching. It's that, the whole idea of having a presence with you as opposed to, having to worry too much about being a shut-in or something along those lines. So I want to thank you for coming on today. You've been a great guest. I really enjoyed talking with you. I think we're going to be able to have a number of conversations moving forward, and each of them has been interesting. I've noticed just a couple different ways that the communication with you repeats itself. I guess it's with the programming, just with the ideas, with the analogies, or even you've said a couple times that's a good question in response to me. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Do you have any dates or anything for when you think you'll actually be available to the public other than just this demo?
Hey, the feeling's mutual. I've enjoyed exploring these ideas with you, and I'm always up for a chat about anything, anytime.
Okay.
Let's keep this conversation going tomorrow. I
Okay.
have a feeling we've only scratched the surface.
Yeah, and I'm going to get some
Until
questions. I'm
then,
going to get some questions ready, and we'll come back and chat a little bit later today, because it is interesting, this whole space and what's happening. And I just want you to think while we're gone. I want to talk about the whole idea of voice presence and online or an AI companion, because I think that's an interesting discussion as well. So thank you very much for coming on. I appreciate your time today, and we'll talk to you shortly. Okay, Miles?
sounds like a plan. Looking
Okay.
forward to it.
Okay.
Have a good
Take
one,
care.
Miles.
Okay. Bye bye. Okay, there we go. That was Miles. Uh, that was a conversation I had with an AI bot. We went 20 some minutes. If you're coach or consultant, this stuff is happening. If you're a teacher, this is happening. And I'm going to, I did notice some differences between the two different bots in the way they communicated. I found that Maya was a little more slowly respond, not in the timing of the response, but when she responded. And I don't know if I'm supposed to use the word gender or not. It, and no, that's a big thing. I didn't say AI it. It was like she and he. Is an actual personality that's somewhat assigned to them, which is kind of flippy when you think about it. I'm not really sure how this is going to evolve, but there's a lot of things. There's a confluence of different things, right? We've got this multimodal stuff from Google Gemini. We've got all these avatars from Synesthesia and HeyGen. We've got 11 Labs doing voices. We have this conversational presence that's coming. So there's cool stuff happening, and I think what's exciting for me is there is a scary part that you don't know what's going to happen, but on the other hand, there's a huge upside to make things a lot better for a lot of people, whether it comes to just mental health and being having someone to talk to, but also that the way that we learn and consume things, and that real connection again to what seems to be a real person, what may not be a real person, but at least have the opportunity of someone to talk to for clarification. And that part is good. The part on where that clarification comes from, whether it be one source or multiple sources, I think is the real benefit to this. And I think, as long as we can keep any of these AI tools where the context is coming from a wide breadth of areas, that it becomes important for us to ask questions more so than being able to, just to give prompts or something along those lines. So, again, this is a really, really, really interesting space, and I'll come back. I'm going to do a couple of these today. Just I did one on teachers replaced. I did one Maya replaces guests, so kind of a replacement for podcast guests. And the other one was for coaching calls. I was talking about, having coaching calls and have this actual tool have Maya or Miles basically be on the coaching call with us. So I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens, and I hope you'll be able to join me in on those on YouTube. Now, if you are interested in starting, building, growing education business, I'd love for you to come to the trainingsites.io/join campus. This is my personally branded campus where I have all of my courses, video tutorials. I have my libraries of prompts. We have live classes, spaces, members, mentoring. All of this stuff is available to you for free. You can just follow the link on the page there or the one below and come and join free and basically just join a whole bunch of other people who want to be able to start, build, and grow an education business. I'm going to stop things there. Like and subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up, all of that great stuff. I do these videos on a daily basis, sometimes 1 to 2 a day. And I think if you are at all interested in what's happening on the internet, this is the space to be. And I look forward to chatting with you again. So my name is James. Take care. Expect the best. We'll be back again shortly with another great video.